Yo, what is good, Knicks Nation? Welcome back to a Knicks Media live stream. And the New York Knicks, breaking news, have just traded away Alec Burks and Nerlens Noel to the Detroit Pistons for 2 future second-round picks and cash. Wow, the New York Knicks have officially got off of the contracts, and now it does seem like Jalen Brunson to the New York Knicks is pretty much inevitable. It's not a done deal until Thursday. We don't know what's going to happen yet, but there's no denying that the New York Knicks are definitely going all in to get Jalen Brunson and offer him $100+ million contract. The New York Knicks give up only 2 second-round picks. I'll give that. I'll take that. The Knicks unload $19 million in salary. Now, this really makes me wonder, is this the only move? We're hearing a lot of reports that the Knicks are not content with just getting Jalen Brunson. And for you guys that's been watching my videos, you guys know that I've been saying, please make sure that Jalen Brunson is not the only move that the Knicks do. And we get a report today. I was unable to make a video on it. I was going to do that tonight, actually. That the Knicks don't feel like Brunson's going to be able to be that guy to move the needle. They don't feel like he's going to be that guy to change everything. And that's not going to be their only move. Now, that's music to my ears, and it should be music to your ears. Guys, smash that thumbs up button on your way into the live stream if you're pumped up about this trade. This is great news that the New York Knicks were able to get off these 2 contracts by just giving up 2 future second-round picks and cash. That is huge. Smash that thumbs up button if you're just tuning into the show, guys. And, of course, subscribe to the channel if you are indeed new. Now, Brunson to the Knicks feels like it's a done deal. But now, I want to talk about Dejounte Murray for a sec, because if that happens, boy, woo-wee, I don't want to get my hopes up, everybody. There's a lot of reports. About the Knicks being interested in trading for Dejounte Murray. I don't know how reliable that is. But there's some rumors, and it's unconfirmed rumors. So that's why I didn't want to make a video on the Knicks engaging with the Spurs on a trade conversation. But the rumors are out there. Dejounte Murray's in New York right now. So now we cleared cap space in order to sign Brunson, and we have enough cap space to even afford Murray. Why not both? According to Ian Begley's SNY, Ian Begley, he said today in a video he uploaded that there's rival NBA executives saying that the pairing of Murray and Brunson is a possibility, and that backcourt will be play well together. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, it's actually possible. It is possible. Want to know why? Because the Knicks got so much draft picks in the NBA draft in the next 7 years where they can make a big-time trade offer to the San Antonio Spurs to get Murray here, and they have enough cap space to afford to give Jalen Brunson a max contract, and they still have enough cap space to re-sign our guy in Mitchell Robinson. Ooh, if this is what the grand plan is, then everybody deserves to take everything back about Leon Rose. That's all I have to say. I said that it's really hard to address what the Knicks did in free agent in the NBA draft because we do not know what their plan is yet. We have to wait a couple of weeks, wait until free agency, wait until the trades start going on, and then we can really talk about what the Knicks did in the 2022 NBA draft by trading out of the 11th pick, getting 3 future first-round picks, trading away Kemba Walker by shaving off his salary cap, and now we take those 2 second-round picks and we ship off Burks and Noel to clear the way for Jalen Brunson. So it's basically a done deal. So that is pretty crazy. It's not going to be official till Thursday. Nothing is guaranteed, right? But it does seem like Jalen Brunson's a Knick. I mean, it's just a matter of time until free agency opens and the new league year is officially upon us. So I see that Knicks Twitter is going crazy right now. This is really great news. I cannot believe that the Knicks were able to get off of both of their contracts in the same exact trade. I made 2 videos today, guys. 2 videos that the Boston Celtics were interested in Alec Burks and the LA Clippers were interested in Nerlens Noel. Neither of them went to either of those teams. They were all packaged in the same trade, and we only have to give up 2 second-round picks. I was worried that we're going to have to give up a couple firsts. One of the first-rounders we got next year. I was worried. I was scared. I was like, are we really going to give up assets just to get off these contracts? We gave up 2 future seconds, no first-round picks, and we free up $19 million? Hey, that is what I am talking about. I don't know what the plan is here, but what we can say is that the New York Knicks front office is doing everything they possibly can to free up cap space. That tells me that they have a lot of confidence in Brunson coming to the New York Knicks. I want to hear your guys' thoughts in the live chat right now. What is your thoughts of this? And if you guys are just tuning into the stream, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. We got 51 likes with 317 of you guys tuning into the show. So please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button if you are enjoying the show. I greatly appreciate that. So we get as many Knicks fans in here as possible to talk New York Knicks and to react to the NBA trade that just happened between the New York Knicks and the Detroit Pistons. So let's talk about Jalen Brunson real quick because he's basically a Knick. He basically is a Knick. I watched a lot of Jalen Brunson highlights today in the playoffs just to get me ready because it just feels inevitable at this point. And Jalen Brunson is, first of all, he did not peak. He's entering the prime of his career. He's going to be 26 years old this upcoming season. He's a player that is really fun to watch. I mean, what he can do attacking the paint, his spin moves, his footwork, his ability to just have those little fadeaways in the paint is beautiful. His three-point shot, his playmaking, you know, his offensive repertoire is really going to complement this Knicks team well, in my opinion. So now I just feel like this is opening up a lot of pathways for the Knicks to make a lot of other moves outside of Brunson. And that's why I'm really excited right now, because if you guys watch my videos, you know that if Jalen Brunson was going to be the only move this offseason and we're just going to be running this team back with Jalen Brunson and like the same team as last year, then it would be a little better. The team would be better, but it wouldn't move the needle for me. But we hear rumors and we're hearing reports that Jalen Brunson is part of the plan. He's not the plan, if that makes any sense. That is what I'm trying to say here. I just wanted to say, that's what I'm trying to say is Jalen Brunson could potentially not just be the plan, right? There could be a bigger picture here. If they're going all in for Murray, they possibly can do that. Now, the Atlanta Hawks are definitely rumored to be the front runners for that. I really feel like it would be a good idea for the New York Knicks to go in for Murray. So let me know in the chat, everybody. What's your thoughts? Do you feel like going all in for Murray on top of Brunson is a good idea? Do you feel like that backcourt will be well suited together? Or do you think that Brunson is good enough? Or do you rather not get Brunson at all? But at this point, it looks like Brunson is here, right? It looks like Brunson's here. So let me know your thoughts in the chat, guys, and we'll get into everything about it. Let's see what the chat's saying. Carl says, bro, this is crazy. I'm not feeling Brunson, though. I want Murray. But the Pistons, though, they are going to be serious for the next 5 years plus. The Pistons are going to be pretty crazy, not going to lie. Michael says, Brunson money scares me. Plus, IQ gets screwed, but competition is fun to watch. And IQ as a six-man type might work better. Yeah, I feel like IQ, you know, the Jalen Brunson signing, I feel like is a good thing because, you know, we're getting a guy that has, first of all, deep playoff experience. I mean, he just went to the Western Conference Finals. And no, obviously, he's not the reason for it. It's all Luka Doncic. He is that team. But he was the Robin to Luka Doncic. And whenever Luka did not play throughout the regular season, Jalen Brunson, when he was the primary ball handler, when he was the point guard, when he was running the show, he was putting up really good numbers, right? If you look at his numbers throughout his regular season last year, it doesn't jump off the screen to you, right? Jalen Brunson's numbers are not going to be like, wow, this dude is worth this money. And my advice is don't just look at the money we're going to give Jalen Brunson because that's the reality of the NBA. You overpay players when they hit the open market. Like, that's just the reality of the NBA. When the salary cap rises, more players get paid more money. If the Knicks can bring in Jalen Brunson on a $25 million contract, probably going to be a little more than that. That's what they have to do in order to get a player like that. Like, think about it. we need to bring in Brunson. And then that does not close the door on any other trades that could potentially be happening, especially with Murray. Murray is the guy that I really want. Jordan's getting me a little too excited. Murray and Brunson makes us playoff contenders automatically. Oh, yes, it does. Now we got the Brunson and Murray people in the chat getting hyped up. I love it. I love it. Listen, the Murray situation is interesting because all the rumors are pointing Murray to the Atlanta Hawks. Now, as a Knicks fan base, I think we should all say with a straight face, we should not let that happen. I do not want that to be happening. I do not want Murray to go to the Atlanta Hawks. I think we can all agree with that. So let's make sure that doesn't happen, and let's trade for that guy immediately. So I'm still at a loss for words that the Knicks were able to trade away both Burks and Noel in the same exact trade by just giving up 2 seconds? Bro, when I saw what we had to give up for Kemba, or not for Kemba, what we had to give up to get rid of Kemba, rather, 4 seconds and a first for just Kemba. And it was to the Pistons, ironically enough, the same exact team. So maybe the Pistons were like, all right, you gave us 4 seconds, you gave us a first, just give us 2 seconds just for these 2 players, and we'll call it a day. But at the end of the day, man, I feel like the Pistons, they have a lot of salary cap, so it makes sense for them. I mean, they just got Jaden Ivey. I mean, I don't want to talk about the Pistons because they definitely are trending in the right direction. That's going to be a fun team to watch. But that doesn't matter. Go get Murray and Miles Bridges. Miles Bridges does seem like he'll be moving on from the Hornets. They're not offering him a max, which is kind of crazy. We'll see what happens with that. I don't expect Bridges to come to the Knicks, though. If we were to somehow land Murray and Brunson, we'd have to ensure our spacing isn't terrible. Yeah, I feel like they will complement each other well, especially, it's crazy that we're even thinking about this for a second, that Brunson and Murray could potentially be, our backcourt. How is that a good deal? Well, I look at it this way, man. I look at it as a good deal because I thought the Knicks were going to have to give up a lot more to get rid of Burks and Noel. Because if you saw what the Knicks had to give up in order to get rid of Kemba Walker's contract, that made you feel like, okay, Nerlens Noel's contract is worse. He can't even stay on the court. And they were able to get off Nerlens Noel's contract and Alec Burks in one trade just by giving up 2 second-round picks. And now that clears up the cap space. Now, the one thing I will say, and I'll go back to what I said before this whole trade started, before everything, is Leon Rose and the Knicks front office, what they're doing right now is cleaning up the mistakes they made last offseason. Now, it's unfortunate that they made the mistakes in the first place by signing Alec Burks, but re-signing Alec Burks, re-signing Nerlens Noel, giving Kemba Walker that contract, right? So we're obviously knowing that last offseason, all the moves were mistakes. We didn't make the playoffs, didn't even make the play-in tournament. And now Leon Rose is backpedaling. And he's like, holy crap, I need to get off these contracts. I need to do something. I cannot run this team back with the same roster. We need drastic improvements because last year was a very big disappointment on so many different levels that you guys don't even need me to tell you because you know how disappointing that this past season was for the New York Knicks. So on one token, you can say Leon Rose made huge mistakes, but it is awesome to see that Leon Rose is understanding that he made big time mistakes and he's learning and he's cleaning it all up. Alec Burks last year was so frustrating to watch him play as the New York Knicks point guard. So frustrating. Hindered the development of Emmanuel Quickley and giving Deuce McBride minutes. Drove me crazy. Nothing wrong with Alec Burks as a person or even as a player. I think Alec Burks is a very solid veteran player in the NBA, a role player. But as a starting point guard, I think Knicks fans are going to be pretty happy to see him somewhere else so we can have someone else run the show. So I just feel like this is a good move in terms of if you look at it in the perspective of the Knicks getting off of these contracts and paving the way. Another thing, this tells you how much the Knicks have confidence in Jericho Sims. Because we also heard a report that I'm going to make a video on it tomorrow that the New York Knicks are going to be signing Jericho Sims to a full contract, get him off the two-way deal, and that tells me that the Knicks have a lot of confidence in Jericho Sims to be the full-time backup center this year, behind Mitchell Robinson if we re-sign him, which it does seem like that's going to happen because now we still have a lot of money to sign Brunson and re-sign Mitchell Robinson. So that's another whole thing. Jericho Sims getting signed. I love that move. I feel like last year he showed a lot of promise as a rookie and as a 58th overall pick. Pretty crazy. So guys, we have 1,000 people tuning into the stream right now. If you guys are just tuning in for the first time, make sure you smash that thumbs up button for your boy. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you guys tuning into the show. I love to hear what you guys have to say in the chat. Are you pumped up about this? Are you disappointed in this trade? Do you not want Jalen Brunson at all? Do you feel like it's not worth the money? Because I definitely see a lot of people in the chat happy, some people sad. Michael with the $5 donation. Thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate the donation. It means a lot to the channel. I don't get it. Burks and Noel are good players. Why are we getting nothing from them, let alone giving up picks? Is Brunson that good? Is he enough? Great question, Michael, and I appreciate the $5 super chat, my man. Listen, I think the Knicks are realizing that, number one, Nerlens Noel was totally, last season, he was not available. He was just doing nothing for this franchise last year. He did really good things the first year he was on the New York Knicks when we went to the 4th seed, and that was the year that Mitchell Robinson was injured and Nerlens was that starting center. He had 2 blocks and a steal per game that season, and then we give him this contract, and he does not get onto the court. And when he's on the court, he wasn't even nearly as good as he was that past season. Fumbles the ball, can't handle anything, just a liability on the offensive side of the ball. You know, he is I can say he's elite in terms of protecting the rim, but his availability is the biggest concern. So I'm okay with getting rid of Nerlens. And then Alec Burks, right? He's a veteran role player. Now, the one thing I did not like about Alec Burks, nothing bad about him. I think he's a really good role player in this league. But he took away so many valuable minutes to the young team. Now, what this tells me is the Knicks have a lot of confidence in the young core. What have Knicks fans been saying for the past season? Play the kids, play the kids, play the kids. Why weren't the kids playing a lot? Because of guys like Alec Burks. So for him to get shipped off for nothing basically means the Knicks are committing to the youth. That opens up Quentin Grimes. That opens up. We'll see about Cam Reddish. I know there's rumors that the Knicks are done with him or trying to trade him off. So we'll see if they're going to keep Cam Reddish or not. But if they keep him, that opens up Cam Reddish minutes. Opens up Emmanuel Quickly minutes. It opens up so many opportunities for this young team. And that's why I'm so excited. I see some people saying in the chat, Richie, why are you so excited about this? What's the big deal? We basically traded away 2 players for nothing. We have to give up 2 picks to get rid of them. It's not a trade. It's not a good trade if you look at it in that perspective, but you have to understand the bigger picture here. The Knicks are, number 1, committing to the youth. The Knicks are, number 2, heavily pursuing a very good player in Jalen Brunson. Don't get it twisted. Just because Brunson's not an all-star or anything like that doesn't mean he's a scrub, man. Jalen Brunson is a very good player, and I think the best is yet to come. Give him a full-time role in an offense with the Knicks. You never know. I feel like everything is potential. His potential's through the roof in this system. Now, I would love IQ to start, Dennis. I'm a huge Emmanuel Quickly fan. Don't get it twisted. But what this tells me is that the Knicks are definitely committed to the youth movement. Not even just Brunson, but it really does because, oh my God, the amount of times I was begging Tom Thibodeau to stop playing Alec Burks. Like, please, to stop playing Alec Burks. Just because the youth wasn't playing. So Derrick Rose is still here, actually. And funny thing about Derrick Rose, well, not funny, but we're hearing some rumors out there that there's some teams interested in trading for Derrick Rose. Now, I don't know if the Knicks are interested in trading him away. I prefer they keep D Rose, in my opinion. Sean with the $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Sean. $5 mean a lot to the channel. Thank you so much, my brother. Would you go as high as 4 first-round picks for Murray, and which of the young guys would you give up in that trade? If we have to give up 4 firsts, I don't think we're going to have to give up a big-time young player because 4 firsts and a big-time young player, that's a big package. But if those 4 first-round picks if most of them are protected and most of them are the ones that we just got in that trade in the NBA draft where we moved out of the draft in the 11th pick and got 3 first-round picks in 2023. And listen, we have 11 first-round picks in the next 7 years. So 4 first-round picks, shed off, goodbye. You bring in a guy at Murray? Absolutely. Now, it is a lot, right? 4 first-round picks is a lot. I definitely prefer 3. I think 4 is a lot. If you're going with the mindset of 4 first-round picks and a young player, that's way too much. That's not going to happen. That's unrealistic. That would be a complete overpay. The Knicks, though, could package 3 first-round picks and maybe a young player on the roster. I don't know who, but someone. Maybe Deuce or Jakubaitis. Does he have any value? I'm just kidding. I don't know, man. But the crazy thing is that the New York Knicks, and you have to give them credit here, the Knicks have done a tremendous job of acquiring assets, stockpiling ammunition for this exact opportunity to be aggressive in the trade market and be able to shed off cap whenever you want. Okay? So that's what I'm trying to say here. I see a lot of conflicting stuff on Twitter right now with all these different rumors about the Knicks being interested in Murray. It's kind of crazy because we don't know if that's real yet, and I'm getting a little amped up seeing the hypothetical scenario of the New York Knicks having Murray and Brunson as the backcourt. That's pretty ridiculous. So, guys, I really just have to say I'm going to tip my cap to Leon Rose, okay? I was getting a little concerned, and I can be honest with that. If you guys watch my videos, you know I'm straight up. I don't love everything that they've done so far this offseason, but at the same time, I always came back to this point. You can't judge what Leon Rose and company has done in the offseason until we see the full vision. And the full vision is now coming to fruition, baby. We're finally seeing what's happening. Because during the draft, we were all blinded. We're like, what is happening? We traded away our 11th overall pick. We don't have a first-round pick this year. We're not drafting anybody. We traded away Kemba by giving up 4 seconds and a first. What's going on? Oh, we hear rumors. Oh, it's Jalen Brunson. We're trying to shut off cap. And we're all thinking in that moment, go back into that Thursday night, the NBA draft. We don't know what's going on. And now fast forward to tonight, a couple days or literally 1 day until free agency, the Knicks do a tremendous trade, in my opinion, that was able to get off 2 players that I'm okay with leaving. I'm okay with Burks and Noel getting off this team. They didn't do anything to help the Knicks win this past season. So I'm really excited right now because what the Knicks are doing right now is they're setting themselves up to do not just one thing by signing Jalen Brunson, but potentially being aggressive in the trade market for Murray or even another guy. I know there's no rumors or nothing on Twitter about other players that are available in the trade market that the Knicks are linked to, like Donovan Mitchell potentially is someone I would love for them to heavily pursue. I'm a huge Donovan Mitchell guy. On My Square brings up a great point. Brunson really wants to be a Knick. I think he will take whatever the Knicks offer. Yes, I do agree. I feel like it's like there's no way the Knicks would do all of this if they don't know Brunson is 100% committed to come here. Brunson's camp probably told the Knicks, hey, if you shed off X amount of cap and you offer us X amount of money per year, we're coming. We're coming to New York. I mean, the Knicks hired his father to be an assistant coach. You know what I mean? So it is crazy, though, because if we do get Brunson and Murray, where does Fournier fit in? Does he come off the bench? Brunson, Murray, RJ, Randall, Mitch. I mean, are they going to trade away Fournier somehow? I don't know. It's really crazy to see that this is even possible, that they can get both Murray and Brunson. But at the end of the day, man, I feel like there's so much that's going to be happening in the next couple of days. And I'm super excited that you guys are here with me on Knicks Media, showing the support and showing the love. Guys, if you're just tuning in for the first time, breaking news, the New York Knicks have traded away 2 veterans in Alec Burks and Nerlens Noel to the Detroit Pistons, and they give up 2 second-round picks, and that shed off $19 million in cap space to free up enough money to sign Jalen Brunson when free agency begins this Thursday. So the Knicks are heavily pursuing this man in Jalen Brunson. Everything is really connecting to him. Leon Rose's former agent. It feels inevitable at this point that Jalen Brunson is a New York Knicks. So basically, start watching the highlights of Brunson. Start doing your homework of him. He's going to be a New York Knick. Spoiler alert. I know you guys don't want to know what's happening till Thursday, but all signs are pointing in the direction of Brunson coming to the Knicks. Now, I will say this, and I said it so many times already. Brunson to the Knicks cannot be the only move. There's no way that's going to be the only move. Because what the Knicks have is ammunition in the draft picks in the future that they can be in on any given trade that they want. That's why it gets me pumped up about this move. Because I thought that they're just going to give up one of Burks and Noel, and then we're going to have to keep the other, right? I thought that we're going to have to move off of Burks, but we're going to have to keep Nerlens, and we're not going to have that much cap. But nah, the Knicks were able to get off both of them. Both of them in one trade? 2 future seconds. That's huge, man. That's huge. Will Mitchell Robinson return? It does seem like Mitchell Robinson will be returning. It's nothing confirmed. Nothing is guaranteed. But the Knicks have enough cap to afford re-signing him. And according to SNY's Ian Begley, his latest report about that, which came out a couple days ago, that the Knicks are very interested in Mitchell Robinson returning. Mitchell Robinson is also interested in returning to the New York Knicks. So that's something that we have to make sure happens, because that is very important that we bring back Mitchell Robinson for a multitude of reasons. 24 years old, only getting better, and he's a big reason why the New York Knicks are going to be good this year, in my opinion, if we re-sign him. If they get Brunson, how does this affect the salary cap when RJ needs to be re-signed? Plus, Obi might have the breakout season if Randall is gone. Just curious. Really good question, man. Really good question. RJ is eligible for a rookie contract extension on July 1st. There's no rush to do that. The deadline, I think, is October. So I think the Knicks are going to talk to RJ and talk to his camp and say, hey, we want you here long term. We could give you the money right now. I don't know if they're going to offer him the max or not. But they have guys in the organization, the front office, that are thinking in the long term for the cap. So it's not like they're not thinking about these things. When it comes to Obi might having a breakout season if Randall is gone, listen, we saw Obi Toppin at the end of the season start when Randall was injured. And what did Obi Toppin do? 40-point game, 30-point game, 20-plus every game. I don't know. The Knicks have a big decision on their hand. And we also saw another rumor. And I don't want to say, when I say rumor, guys, that means unconfirmed. I don't want you guys to feel like it's guaranteed. But there were some rumors out there from Fred Katz of The Athletic that the New York Knicks are calling people about Julius Randle if there's any interest around the league. So take that with a grain of salt. Still Knicks fan with a $5 donation. Thank you so much, my man. Appreciate you. If the Knicks are able to bring in 2 really good NBA players, I will be ecstatic. Great job as always, Knicks Media. Thank you so much, Still Knicks fans. Appreciate the donation. And if we bring in Murray and Brunson, this channel is going to be upside down. I mean, it's going to be exploding at this point. I'm going to be on here just yelling to the mic like I am right now for 5 hours straight, because that would make this team good, like really good. I mean, and it's not like, you know what's so different about it? It feels different than what other teams are doing. Is it's still part of the young youth movement. Jalen Brunson turning 26 years old. Murray, 25, turning 26 years old. They both fit in beautifully with the young nucleus that the New York Knicks have already with RJ Barrett and Emmanuel Quickley, Obi Toppin, Deuce McBride, Quentin Grimes, Jericho Sims, Mitchell Robinson. All those players I just mentioned are 24 years old or younger. That is the foundation. And Cam Reddish. Can't forget Cam. The Knicks are young and they're exciting, man. And that's why this gets me pumped up, because this isn't a move where it feels like they're going all in to win this year, where it's like a short term, like, all right, I'm Leon Rose. If I don't win a championship this season, or if I'm not in the playoffs this season, my job's on the line. I got to start doing something. This feels like a move where they're setting themselves up to be a contender year in and year out. And that's what we need from a Knicks front office. That's what I've been begging as a Knicks fan for so many years, for the Knicks front office to completely start building a sustainable winner where every single season we're competitive. Don't go all in for a couple seasons just so we could fizzle out and all of a sudden our futures are ruined. like what the Brooklyn Nets are doing, right? Obviously, Kyrie Irving opted back into his contract, so he's going to be returning. But the Brooklyn Nets sacrificed their entire future for the right now, and they're kind of screwed. Like,